the PlayStation 2. This console has been around with me since 2002. I adore it so much, and I could tell you so many stories and memories about the games I've played. Sadly, not this time. Instead, I want to be honest. I wish PS2 games could look a little better, especially since most games for it were only output in 480i or 576i interlaced resolution. Some games had the ability to hit 240p, 480p, and even 1080i. Only a few dozen games or so could do that. Only 3 PS2 games could do native 1080i output. So, can we fix this problem? I guess emulation might be a good place to start. Just before I carry on, I want to make it clear, I love the PlayStation 2 and how the games look. The games still look the part in my eyes, it's just the interlaced picture that's truly the problem. Even a good deinterlacer can never completely fix the issues interlaced content presents on a progressive scan television or monitor. With that, emulation might be a good way to circumvent this and allow for other niceties to make PS2 games look much better. Yes, re-releases of PlayStation 2 games exist, but since not every game got this treatment, let's see if the PCSX2 emulator can help us out. Right now are the settings that I personally used for the emulator, and the only parts I changed were the interlace settings and the internal resolution. Some games were in 2K resolution and others were in 1080p. My real PlayStation 2 is going through the OSSC via an RGB Scart cable at 480i or 576i pass-through mode with the interlacing from my OBS software using its Yardif 2x setting. Games at 480p on the PS2 use the 480p or 576p line 2x setting for a 960p output. I'll sample a few games on both the interlaced and progressive scan side before I montage the rest. Let's begin. We'll look at WRC II Extreme first. This game is 576i output only, and to be fair, it looks pretty good despite the interlaced output. The game plays well, and of course the track designs really shine here. There's a lot of aliasing present, but considering the hardware, this is a pretty nice looking game if you ask me. I especially love the interior camera here, it definitely needs to make a comeback. Can PCSX2 improve on this? Yes. In fact, it's a night and day difference. Using the 2K internal resolution setting, the picture is sharper and much less aliased too. You can't tell that the picture was once interlaced. It looks as if it was progressive scanned from day one. Some 2D elements and smaller texture details do suffer a bit from the upscale with a slight blur. But considering that I'm using the bilinear filter, this could be fixed or changed. Still, with the two side by side, the difference in picture quality is all too clear to see. If any dithering was present in the PlayStation 2 footage, they don't exist in PCSX2. This game works great on the emulator. Tekken 5 is next, and I feel this one looks pretty good already on the PlayStation 2. Again, it's a bit aliased, but Namco knew how to make the most of the hardware, and it really is a treat to see and play. Sadly, here in Europe, Namco took out the 480p mode, which is only exclusive to NTSC regions. A shame, as that would have really improved the visual clarity on display. So, what does PCSX2 offer on Tekken 5? Well, using the 2K resolution again, the visuals are so much cleaner and truly shine here. I can see details I never noticed before, and the game looks like an early PlayStation 3 title with anti-aliasing applied. There's two flaws that do bring down the experience a bit. There's some effects missing, like the haze from this stage here, and as you probably noticed, the game has these glitches present. I believe a settings change will fix the glitches, although I'm not sure which settings can fix the missing graphical effects. This is still a great way to play Tekken 5 though, especially for us PAL gamers who never got to experience the game in its 480p glory. Ace Combat The Belkan War is so much fun to play, but again, it's got no ability to use the 480p video output. It still looks the part, and both the planes and the environmental detail really stand out here. Still, I would love to see this game in higher resolutions. PCSX2 for the most part improves the image quality as expected. The difference, once again, is clear to see. Sadly, even at 1080p internal resolution, the game stutters sometimes and huge explosions can cause lag. Some effects are also missing or simplified. A few changes to the settings may fix most, if not all, of these problems. I still had a blast trying out Ace Combat on the PCSX2 emulator, and I definitely want to try the other PS2 games in the series on this.
Don't die out there. You still owe me money from poker. One enemy bomber down.
When it comes to fighting games, Dead or Alive 2 ranks highly on my list. However, the game's visuals are a little bit disappointing. It's not a bad looking game, far from it. It just suffers from the early version of field rendering the PS2 was using for its graphics. It really makes the already interlaced picture look even worse. The Dreamcast version of this game could use 480p, but not on the PlayStation 2 port. Will PCSX2 give this game a new lease on life? Yes. Look at the two. It's pretty much what a HD remaster might look like on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. I'm really impressed with how much better the picture is on the emulation side. It runs well too, with very few hitches from time to time. If you like Dead or Alive 2, definitely try it on PCSX2. Alright, let's montage the rest of the interlaced games I played on both the PlayStation 2 and PCSX2. Also, listen to the sound of the two platforms. Which one do you prefer?
over crest. 50. 6 left over crest into care long, 2 left over crest. 70. 6 left over bump into long, 2 right. 30. Long 5 length, 6 right. 50. Crest and 3 right. 34 left over crest and 3 left over crest. 34 left over crest and 3 left over crest. Into long 4 right, tightens to 3.
Let's take a look at some PlayStation 2 games using 480p. First up, Resident Evil 4. I love Resident Evil and I'm glad Capcom let us have 480p on this port, just like the GameCube original and the Wii version. Although the PS2 port isn't the absolute best looking of the ports, it still impresses and plays great. The only downside is the 16:9 aspect ratio is letterboxed, but I quite like the cinematic look even though most will prefer a proper full screen look instead. Playing this at 1080p on PCSX2 actually looks like an official HD remaster of Resident Evil 4. This is a really nice surprise and the game really benefits thanks to the 480p internal resolution. It's clean and has very little aliasing on display. We still only have a letterbox look, but again, I don't mind this aspect too much. The pre-rendered cutscenes though sadly do suffer thanks to the upscale. They look bad to my eyes. Other versions of Resident Evil 4 use the in-game graphics for their cutscenes and look far superior. Otherwise, the PCSX2 emulator does a good job with Resident Evil 4. Out of all the games I wanted to test, Ghost Hunter was the one I was most excited for. Why? Just look at the visuals. It's stunning seeing this level of graphical quality on the PlayStation 2. The 16:9 aspect ratio is full screen too, unlike RE4. Plus, thanks to 480p, the picture is clean and less aliased than your average PlayStation 2 game. This game right here is the one I always show when people complain about the PlayStation 2's graphics. When used correctly, the results can be fantastic. How does it fare on PCSX2? Very well actually. The game looks so much nicer now, and the increased detail does not hurt the picture quality one bit. Admittedly, the difference between the two isn't as extreme as the other games I've tried, but an improvement is still just that. The only downsides are some minor glitches and the effects don't always render correctly. Again, this is a small price to pay, and I'm sure somewhere in the PCSX2 settings these faults can be sorted out. I'll let the rest of the games play out and see for yourself which ones look and sound better on both platforms.
Soul Calibur II.
I've gathered some clothes for you.
Wait! Don't go.
Well folks, I hope you found this comparison interesting. I love the PlayStation 2 and although I'm not a fan of interlaced video output, I can stomach it since the PlayStation 2 has given me so many happy memories along with great software that's cheap to purchase. The OSSC has made playing PlayStation 2 games more tolerable for me and I'm thankful to own one. Of course, if 480p is supported, you bet your life I take advantage of that and the OSSC's ability to line double the image. The PCSX2 emulator still has a long way to go, but by using the right settings, it can really help make PlayStation 2 games shine again and enhance the playing experience. It's certainly a bit finicky at times and not every game will work correctly. The ones that do really benefit from the graphical enhancements emulation can provide. What did you think of this comparison of real hardware against emulation? Let me know in the comments and I hope to see you all again next time.